seeking time. Because I know I need God, so I'll seek Him. I know I need to pray, so I'll try as much as possible to communicate with God. I struggle with the humbling part. I don't know about anybody else, but that was the first part. It said, if my people, are you God's people? Who are called by my name. The first thing He said was, would humble themselves. That was the very first command. And we get to the part where we're praying and we're seeking God, but He's like, hold on, pump the brakes, buddy, because you're actually in the way. The things that you're praying for are not the things that are consistent with my will. So you may not get an answer from me because you're not in line with the plan that I have for you. The first step is to humble yourself under the almighty hand of God. Then pray. Once you humble yourself, you are understanding at that moment what God actually wants for you. Once you understand, God, speak to your people. Once you understand that you first have to humble yourself. Once you understand that, the rest will come easy because you already are living and worshiping in the way that God created you to. So, there's no fancy action that needs to happen after you humble yourself. Once you've humbled yourself, you've actually done a few other steps as well without even knowing it. Because when you humble yourself, what you say is, Lord, I surrender. Lord, I submit. Lord, I need you. Come fill me. The whole scripture can be contained in humbling yourself. Because you have to deny yourself. And when you deny yourself more and more, God fills you with more of Him, increasingly. So once you get step one, you don't even need to pray the rest, because God sees a sacrifice. He sees your submission to Him, and He's going to honor that sacrifice. We don't ask you to lift your hands just because. That's not why we ask you to do it. The lifting of your hand is a sacrifice. It requires that you mentally put in your mind, I submit, I surrender. So when we say lift your hands, it's not because we're saying we want to see something here. We're saying it because we want to get your mind in the mind frame of I submit, I surrender. So with your hands lifted, I hear God saying, and we're going to take our seats. I hear God saying, consistent with this word, seeking worshipers, those who will worship me in spirit and in truth. We But you can't worship that which you do not know. You can't submit to a plan that you really can't fully grasp your mind around and accept. It requires acceptance first and submission. He said, I'm seeking worshipers that will worship me in spirit and truth. This may not be for everybody, but for whoever is speaking to, he's asking, what are you seeing before you give the emotional response? We spend hours in church trying to pump things up. And then by the time we get to where we can feel a tangible presence of God, we spent 4 hours in church. I'm not against it. But what would it be like if we really got to the heart of worship that says, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? The National Minister of Music, she preached and she said, this is your God. This is your sovereign Lord, the one who brought you out. What are you seeing when you come into this building? What are you seeing? What's on your mind? That's the question that God is asking you. What are you seeing? Did someone do a fancy growl or riff to tickle your emotion? Or did you get a revelation of who God is? That's what God is asking us. What are we seeing? I'm seeking worshipers who will worship me in spirit and in truth, out of a revelation of who God is.
I'm sorry.